Dr. Larry Istrail is a physician and the founder of Pheo, a coffee company that's looking to take the world's most popular drink and using it to fund healthcare. And to be honest with you, after tasting his product, he just might do that. Stay tuned for this week's coffee review on The Doctor's Lounge. What's going on, guys, and welcome to The Doctor's Lounge, the coffee review show that believes just because you're a house officer, that does not mean that you need to drink house blend. I'm really excited about this show. I alluded to it last week on the episode. We have Pheo Coffee, Dr. Oliver's Norepi this week on the show, and I'm really excited to talk about not only that coffee in particular, but also Pheo Coffee, the company in general, and kind of what their overall mission is. If you are someone who loves coffee and you work in healthcare, I think you're going to want to stay tuned to this episode, and you may even want to head over to the Pheo website and grab yourself a bag because it's good. It's good. So let's dive right into it, and let's first start talking about the company itself. So Pheo's founder is Dr. Larry Istrail. He was on the Explore the Space podcast. If you didn't listen to that episode, go and take a look at it. I'll post a link in the description to this video. And he talked about what kind of made him want to do this. And he talked about the rituals behind coffee, the rituals behind coffee and medicine, and really trying to bring some of that old school kind of feeling back, and using the popularity of coffee to help fund medical procedures. And I mean, it's just amazing. So the way that Pheo works is you log on to their website, you purchase a bag of their premium coffees, they send it to you, and part of your proceeds goes toward providing a medical procedure for somebody in need. And you actually get a little card that talks about the procedure, you see the person's face. It's a really great way to not only get and drink great coffee, but to also help fund medical procedures for people who need them. And I can't think of a better combination and better synergy for this review show and for the channel than to kind of feature a product that does that. The coffee that I chose to review for this, and I will be buying other bags, I brought this into the resident room, and the residents at NRH just loved it. So we will be buying some more bags and trying out some of the different roasts that they offer. But for this one, we're looking at the Norepi. The Norepi is a single origin Ethiopian Yirgacheffe, and I've reviewed a Ethiopian Yirgacheffe previously on this channel, which was just from Target. This is a very different coffee, and the flavor profiles that are in this are so different, and it's just so night and day. And I think that all comes back to the quality of the product that you're getting. So at Pheo, their main goal is freshness. So when you order the coffee, you are going to get a coffee that was roasted 3 days ago. I think mine was roasted on March 2nd, and I got it by March 5th. That's incredible, and you taste that freshness. Not only do you taste it, but you see the difference in the beans. If you've ever looked at beans that are freshly roasted, they just look different. And you can see that in these beans, and you taste the quality. So I'm really excited to review this. Let's get right into it and start with the aroma. So the aroma, when you first take these beans out, you're smelling them, the one thing that you notice is that there's this really big pop of almost like a sweetness. And that is kind of over the top of this herbaceous, kind of more earthy undertone with a mild little hint of like a toastiness. And that's just the beans themselves. And when you grind them, that smell just kind of, it really comes out, and it's pretty powerful. As you're starting to brew, if you do a pour over, when you start to brew, you notice that the smell kind of changes a little bit. When it first gets in, you get that puff of that toastiness that I just love so much. And then it kind of transforms, and you start to smell almost almost like a sourness to it. And if you've never had a Ethiopian Yirgacheffe before, a really good Ethiopian Yirgacheffe, you're going to notice that it's going to be more on that light end of the spectrum. And so you're going to get a lot more of those acidic and citrus flavors in it. And this coffee did not disappoint in that department. So let's move into the taste. When you first take a sip of this coffee, like an Ethiopian Yirgacheffe should, you get a nice pop of acidity. Not too much. It's just it's a very light little, very light acidity on this, and I really enjoy that. I've had other coffees where the acidity is just so much, bothers your stomach. It's almost like, ooh, you know that it's going to be a bad day. This is not like that. It's just a really, really nice little pop. Middle ground holds up, middle palate holds up really well. You start to kind of move into more of that bitter, almost black tea-esque flavor. And so you really kind of get almost some vibes of drinking a black tea with honey in it, or not honey in it. You get those vibes of kind of like more like a black tea with lemon in it. A better description than that, I think, is if you have ever been over at an Italian family's house and they've made you an espresso before, usually they serve you the shot of espresso and then they'll put a little bit of the lemon zest with it. And you can take that and you can kind of get the oils out, put it around the top of that cup. And so you smell that lemony kind of citrusy with the bitterness of the espresso. This is so reminiscent of doing that, and I think that's why I love it so much, is it brings me back to being back in Buffalo and going over to Alyssa's house and her mom serving me the espresso with the lemon. It's just, you get a lot of that kind of playing back and forth, and it's just, it's so good. The beans are so well roasted, and you just really taste the freshness and those complexities. And each sip, as the coffee cools, you start to notice more things. That sometimes I get a little bit of more of an herbaceous, almost like a vegetative type taste to it. It's so good. And for the price, which is $16.49 for the Norepi, you're getting a coffee that was roasted days ago. And not only that, but some of the proceeds are going towards funding a medical procedure for somebody in need. I don't really know how you can really beat that. The caffeine content in this coffee is great. We've been drinking it in the resident room. It's been surely keeping us awake and keeping us going. Not too powerful, so if you're somebody who's sensitive to caffeine, as I always mention, this is actually going to be an okay coffee for you. So if that sounds like something that you would like to try, please head on over to Pheo Coffee and grab a bag and look at the other offerings that they have. Some of them are really interesting. The Hippocrates Oath is definitely going to be the next bag that I order and have in. It just sounds very interesting. But if you like Ethiopian Yirgacheffes, definitely head on over to Pheo and grab yourself a bag of it, because this is a great coffee with a great cause. And I am in total support of what they're doing at Pheo, and I wish them all the best, and I hope that they are very successful in their mission and that they continue to grow. So please guys, head on over. Thanks for checking out the episode this week and staying with me. I'm going to go and finish the rest of this coffee. You guys enjoy the rest of your weekend and check back next week with a new review. Bye now.